Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gluttons for Geekdom Live. I am Nick James, and today we are going to be talking about the Scarlet Speedster himself. Yes, the Flash, and I don't mean to, brag or, try to show off or anything. The reason I show this is because John Boy actually got me the first gift card that got me into collectibles. I was able to get me this, so I wanted to give a quick shout out. John Boy, checking this out. I mean, just how beautiful. It's awesome. Alright, so let's talk about The Flash, guys. It was in 1939. Gardner Fox and Harry Lambert was the artist, Fox was the writer, came up with The Flash, 1939. So, guys pushing up there. He's getting old. And when we talk about that Flash, that is Jay Garrick. If you haven't seen Jay Garrick, right now he actually has a current incarnation on television on the CW Flash. But just so you know, he's the guy with the helmet. And he looks very Mercury, he's got the silver bolts that really come out far, and I believe he's even got the little wings on his shoes, and it's supposed to be Hermes, or Mars, depending on Mercury, excuse me, which mythology you look by, but like a messenger, so he's very quick. Like I said, the Scarlet Speedster was just one of them, and so what happened was that was during the golden age of comics. Now there's pretty much a depression in the comics because of a guy, might have mentioned him, Frederick Wortham, put out a book, Seduction of the Innocent, and it pretty much said that comics led to bad kids. So a lot of them dropped off. The big three in DC stayed, so that's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. So they stayed, and when it was time for the Flash to come back, they said, let's not bring back Jay, let's redo it. And that's when we got Barry Allen. And Barry Allen is the guy that we all pretty much know again because of the Flash TV show is super popular right now, and that was in 56. Was the revive of that. And it's awesome because in 61, if you remember, it's so iconic and it was so great because they did do it for a promo art for the show. But it's a comic book cover, so in the very foreground is a lady, and she's like, oh gosh, help, Flash. And there's a wall right down the center, and you see Jay Garrick, and you see Wally West, and it says, I'm coming. And that's when we really first get the multiverse, which is really awesome for DC. I mean, that is their big play to me right now, is that there are so many different dimensions, and because of that we get like Crisis on Infinite Earths, where Barry Allen again is pretty awesome in it. Like, it was an awesome Batman Barry Allen moment at the end of Infinite Earths, where he's like, you're not fast enough, there's no way you could do this. That's what Batman says, and he gets the other guy to do it, and at the end of moving so fast, the other guy is aged, and Flash is like, oh man, you knew that would happen, like, you saved my life. And he's like, of course I did, I like you, Barry Allen. And he's like, and even Batman has said that if my parents weren't killed, Barry Allen was the man that I'd hope to grow up into. So that's pretty powerful, Barry Allen, really great character. In terms of what we're going on in now, or what I want to show at least, is the new 52 one. If you haven't seen for a while, it's been up here. It's awesome. Again, I don't really know what I can go through copyright-wise, but just in terms of, come on. It's gorgeous, looks good, reads really well, reads really quick. No pun intended, but to get back into that, first, just so you understand, why we have a different one, is Barry Allen made the ultimate sacrifice, but then he got rebirth. This was Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is right now at DC for the movies. I'm not sure if it's like creative officer or creatives. I don't know exactly what his title is there, but he is doing a lot more of that. So again, I think I said once, if you don't know what comic to pick up, look up something that says Morrison on it and read it. Still true, but if not, look up one that says Jeff Jones and read it. He does great work on this. He's a really big Green Lantern fan. We'll get to him eventually, and he did Batman too. Looks like my camera is slipping. Sorry, we're live, so we're going to have to deal with this right on site, guys. Excuse me. To go on, so then we have Wally West, and he's on the show as well. So, it's really great that I don't have to really talk about how into the past you have to go, because a lot of people watch the show. The show is popular. It's done really well. It's in Berlantiverse, so it's a spin-off of Arrow. But you have Wally West, and he came in to take on the suit. He was always Kid Flash. He got introduced during the time of the sidekicks, when Robin and Aqualad, big part of the Teen Titans, and then he puts on the big yellow boots. I guess he takes off red ones, put on yellow ones. And he's the Flash for a while. Again, I'm more of a Barry guy. I prefer to read that, so that's just preference. Bart Allen gets it too, and he is Impulse, and Bart Allen is really freaking awesome. He is very quick. If you want to see a great representation of him, watch Young Justice. So let's get into a little bit side animated project, because Young Justice is great. They give you Barry, they give you Wally, and they give you Bart. And in a last scene, in almost, I'm pretty sure the final scene, spoilers if you haven't seen it. If you haven't, YouTube it or go to Netflix. Young Justice is on Netflix. We're going to get a season 3 because the fans loved it so much, and it's because of moments like this. They're running, trying to like unwind the catastrophe that's happening. And you know, Wally is the one who gives himself up, and he's like, tell Artemis I loved her. And you're like, the feels off this cartoon right now, because it is another great cartoon, and it's out of nowhere because a lot of people didn't like this. Diedrich Bader was the voice of Batman in Batman the Brave and the Bold, and it's really campy, but it's supposed to be campy, so it fits in. It does what it's supposed to, and it does it to a T, to a perfect awesomeness. Just trust me on this one. That one is called Requiem for a Scarlet Speedster, and again, you get 3 Flashes. You get Jay Garrick, Wally, and Barry running that time, and they're running in like a giant hamster wheel almost, and they run backward through there. Whew, that was a lot, right? So let's go on to live action. Let's finally talk about the meat of what we see. The first time I remember seeing a Flash was Bart Allen, I believe, and he was on Smallville, and that has one of my favorite moments in it, because at the very end, you know, Bart's running around, and Clark catches up to him pretty quickly. I mean, quicker than anybody else can. And you see them race a little bit during the whole episode of Who's Faster. And then at the very end, you know, they do the awesome thing where they're really running, struggling to get out of town. And Clark's keeping up, and Bart just turns around and boom, and just boom, you know, and Clark has to stop, and he's like, holy crap, that guy's fast. Like, Superman realizes that that guy is fast. And I just saw a comic strip of the same thing. Same exact scenario of Superman flying and Bart going, and Superman goes, come on, Barry, you know I could keep up with you. Well, we've run stuff together. And Barry turns and he says, that was for charity, Clark. This is real. Boom, and does the same exact thing, just bursts out. And again, Superman's like, holy good God. It is awesome. So if you didn't know, the Flash is fast, very fast. That's all due to the Speed Force. And again, just one other fun fact before I jump into the lightning bolt that you see. Actually, let's jump right into the Flash TV show, Grant Gustin. The lightning bolt that you see has just been discovered was Barry himself giving himself up to the Speed Force. Like, in one con of it, like, he ran so fast that he became the lightning bolt and chose to strike himself. I don't know if CW is going to touch on that. They do love touching on the parallel universes that are going on right now. We've jumped into many different Earths on those right now. And the guy who's playing Wells is just, he's got to be exhausted. He plays like Wells 10 different ways. That guy is given so much to do on there. Tom Cavanaugh, I want to say. If I'm wrong, sorry, Tom. But Grant Gustin is Flash, man. I mean, Ezra has some stuff to step up to, in my opinion, because Grant is really just doing it well. Because I love him. I do. You know, what we talked about on the podcast the other day when we were talking about the Marvel Universe is that when we think of Robert Downey Jr., that is Iron Man. That's not so much Iron Man, but it is Tony Stark. He makes me believe it on 2 levels. I believe not only is he Barry, but Barry becomes the Flash. You know what I mean? It's like acting on a different level. He himself is Grant acting like Barry, but he's got to imagine what Barry would act like the Flash, and I don't know if I'm explaining myself well enough, if I'm not. But anyway, he kills it. We're getting a lot of great content in terms of the rogues, and I don't feel so villainy of the week. It's Speedster of the season for sure, and it's kind of become an online joke of, my name is Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest. Nope, because Savitar's in there right now. I didn't catch last night, so no spoilers, please. We had Reverse Flash, we had Zoom, we had a lot of guys running around on this show. It's very great. Check it out. Doing great for time. So let's talk really quick about Ezra Miller. Like I said, I will maybe do a Flash. If you like this enough, you want a whole episode of Flash TV show, sure, let me know. But Ezra Miller, if you watch the BVS footage, you see that he's reaching into a cooler and he grabs milk, and then he sees what's going on. And he looks over and he drops the milk, or he lets go of it. He doesn't drop it. He lets go of it, knocks the guy out, comes back before he's done. He's faster than gravity itself. So he did that motion quicker than 9.8 meters per second squared times by the moment. I don't know. That's fast. In Suicide Squad, if you haven't seen it, he catches Boomerang. Again, it's really awesome. You know, no honor among thieves, and all we really get is the one good boom. But, sorry guys. Um, but it's awesome. Again, so now we got the Justice League footage, and that's the biggest part. That is when we start to see a little bit of who we're going to get for Barry, in the sense that, you know, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne, I want to talk to you. It's like, why are you in my second favorite chair? And like, why does that explain who you are? And of course we get the Batarang, and you know, he does the whole, as Bobby calls it, because they did kind of do it first, the Spider-Man sense of slowness. Like, if this is the Batarang, he goes zoom, and presumably steps into the Speed Force, because you got all the lightning cracking, and he figures out who he is and catches it. And, you know, I need friends, and that's really what I want to see more of. I want to see the underneath of it. And as what I've heard, and spoilers, I don't know if you want to stay completely clean for the movie, this might ruin you. I don't know. 3, 2, 1. He doesn't have a specific beef with anybody in the movie, but gets around to annoy just about everybody, is a little tag that I read. Something similar in the fact, I'll try to post. That's fine. You know, because that's how he was in the Justice League. You know, he was the quippy guy. He was the guy who was there, and he was also, that show was a little R-rated. If you remember, once he said, I'm the fastest man alive, and Hawkgirl goes, oh, is that why you can't get a date? And it's like, that's naughty. I didn't realize that. And just for one final thing, let's wrap it up here. Did you know Smallville, Lex Luthor is the voice of that Flash on the Justice League show? That's right. Michael Rosenbaugh? Maybe? Just thought that was fun. Before I go, let's really quick do a plug. Go to our YouTube, go to Podbean, go to iTunes, go to Gluttons for Geekdom on Instagram, Gluttonous Geeks on Twitter. And, oh man, I actually have somebody live. Excuse me, this doesn't happen very often. What are we talking about? Oh, Molly was on here too? Oh man, you did! Hey! Well, we are a dude from Subway. What's going on? That's awesome. Oh my god. Dude from Subway's watching. Thank you. That's so awesome. Thank you for tuning in for this whole thing. I hope you liked some Flash. What show are you talking about with Superman and Flash racing? That was Smallville. That was that CW show that first came out, Smallville. And it's a very young Superman, and it's not Barry Allen, it's Bart Allen. And they do some racing. What's going on, man? No problem. Yeah, thank you for watching. It's Smallville. Go and look that up. And it's 2 young versions. Nobody's in suits. It's not as awesome as you think, you know, because it is just with stuff going on behind them. But it is really great. Thank you for the wonderful question. Yes, if you write in questions, I will try to help out. I'll see everybody later. Tune in tomorrow at 5 o'clock. What are we talking about? Comment down below. Thank you very much. Gluttons for Geekdom Live.